Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. This is going to be a weekly overview, and normally when I've done these, I start on Sunday, but right now I'm going to start on Monday and go through Sunday because of what's going on the 14th and 15th, so I want to include that 15th of the Sunday. So I've got this focus to about here. It looks a little dark because there's so much intense bright sunlight coming through the window. It's like 70 something degrees out right now, and it snowed on Tuesday, so I'm recording this on Sunday the hell's today? Sunday the 8th. So we're gonna run from the 9th to the 15th. So to save time on combining the video segments, I've shuffled everything out. So I'm using my bucket of charms here. I'm using the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. And I'm using the Syrian Starseed Tarot, which I'm coming to realize has a lot of scorpionic energy for me. So that's new and exciting. So I went and looked at what the planets are doing, and I'm not sure if I want to talk about this first. Yeah, I think I do. So I went and looked at this chart and scribbled down notes on what planets are going to be where for the rest of the month. The thing that struck me the most is that there's a lot of action going on in Scorpio this month. So before Mercury went retrograde, it was in Scorpio, and then it backed into Libra to hang out with Venus, and now is direct as of the 3rd. So Mercury is going back into Scorpio on the 14th, which is Saturday. And I'm just distracted because I have 3 different songs that just slammed into my head at once. Venus is not going to be in Scorpio until the 22nd. But there's this interesting thing where the planets are sort of, it's almost like they're jockeying for position. It's like, I'm going to lead you into this sign. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to lead you into this sign. Sort of like a little leapfrog action. So the sun is in Scorpio until the 21st. And because Venus isn't going into Scorpio until the 22nd, there would be... It's like, it wants there to be 4 in Scorpio at once, but it's not possible because the moon's only going to be in there for these 2 days on the weekend. But Mercury and the sun are going to be hanging out in Scorpio together, which makes sense because Mercury is right next to the sun. Like, I mean, my sun sign and my Mercury sign are the same. I mean, my Venus is the same too, because I have a stellium, but it's just because it's so close. Although, I mean, that doesn't really usually happen, though, because the Mercury can be anywhere and the sun sign can be something else, but just in terms of, like, normal viewing of the sky, Mercury and the sun are really close together. So on the 14th and 15th, the sun, the moon, and Mercury are all going to be in Scorpio. And then a week later, Venus is like, hey, where'd you guys go? Now, what's also interesting is that there's there's a little bit of a piggyback into Sagittarius as well. The sun goes in to Sagittarius on the 21st. at the moon previews Sagittarius on the 16th and 17th. So aside from whatever is going on with Venus and Mercury, the sun and the moon are kind of talking to each other. And it is back to back. Right, the sun's sitting in Scorpio, and on the 14th and 15th, the moon's like, hey, what's up? And then 15th, the new moon, and then because the moon only stays in the sign for 2 or 3 days, on the 16th and 17th, the moon is in Sagittarius, and then a few days later, the sun is like, hey, where'd you go? And I do see this sort of back and forth energy with the masculine and the feminine. If you've watched some of my other recent videos, I think I've mostly just been doing card of the day for the last couple weeks, aside from the 3 channelings that I did. But even the channelings, there's a lot of interplay between Venus as the goddess energy, the feminine archetypal energy, and Mercury as the masculine energy. And I've been trying to figure out why Mercury is carrying the masculine energy. Because normally you would expect Mars to carry the masculine energy. Mars has been retrograding in Aries. And it's almost like, it's like there's a duality. I mean, there's somewhat of a duality between Virgo with mercurial energy and Venus. So maybe the mercurial energy is a more playful, youthful energy. And you would expect the Mars energy to be the mature masculine energy, and the Venus energy, where'd she go? The Venus energy to be the mature feminine energy. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, there was a lot going on with Virgo energy, like, I want to say like August, September, and a little bit October. And it was coming in kind of on the heels of Venus retrograde. But with Mars retrograde, there's been all this mercurial energy. But also notice that Gemini has been North Node for a while now. Sagittarius South Node. And I'm not entirely sure what the North Node does, but I know that it sets up this like pole-to-pole energy. So it's sort of like an all-encompassing look in the mirror, duality, opposites, push and pull, balance kind of a situation. I mean, Gemini rules the Lover's card, which is it is that masculine feminine energy. It also can be relationships, but it's also a choice in healing. It's like I choose to heal myself so that my masculine and feminine energies are balanced. And we see that playing out with these retrogrades and the energy shifts. And there's even more of that happening. The sun, I mean, the sun is generally considered masculine energy, but the moon is also heavily present lately with the huge full moon on Halloween and the other full moon in October besides. We're not seeing the full moon in this week, but we have the new moon here on Sunday, the day of the sun. I just got a little bit of paint it black. How much time have I got? I want to see the sun blotted out from the sky. And it's like the Earth's shadow. Right? What is the shadow aspect that's being addressed here with the sun, the moon, and Mercury all in Scorpio? Right? What is the dark side of the inner child? What are you not releasing that's... Oh man, I forgot what I was going to say. What are you not releasing that's preventing you from having enjoyment? And I was going to say the elephant in the room, but I'm so sick of that phrase lately. Somebody attacked me with that the other day and I wasn't having it. You know, it's like, don't beat around the bush. If you're going to say the elephant in the room, don't pretend like it's Voldemort and he who shall not be named. If you're going to talk about it, you know, don't be disrespectful to elephants by saying that. Say what it is that it is. Scorpionic energy has to do with sexual nature as well. It rules... Sign of Scorpio rules the genitals. We have plutonic energy. We have fire. But also water. Which is, what is that? Fire and water and Pluto, that's 20, that's judgment. Which is fair because 2020 is a year that's all about judgment. Judgment this side, judgment that side, karma, karma, foundation. What am I doing? Am I done talking about this? The scorpionic energy. I mean, it does have a lot to do with the sacral chakra. Creativity. That's that mercurial energy, that innovative trickster energy, right? He hopped out of the womb and invented the lyre. Lyre. Although sometimes he was a liar, Liar, because he was horsing around. He's like a coyote energy in terms of Greek mythology. Now, another thing that's relevant to this week is that aside from these continuous synchronicities with Mercury and Venus, and also Mars, I was skimming around on... How much time have I got? Megalithomania UK YouTube channel. And I don't really enjoy the ones where they're just walking around sites talking about stuff. I like the lectures. So I went and I needed something to watch while I was eating my lunch. And I found this one about, I think it's Nebra. I think I'm remembering that right, because I didn't look it up again before I did this. And I think I've seen it before. It's a Nebra sky disk. And where the hell were they? Like the middle of... I don't know if it was like near the Caspian Sea or like further west, but it's somewhere in the interior of Europe. And the main point of this thing had to do with maiden energy, which we would see like Venus giving birth, or the leveling up of the feminine mercurial energy. And having to do with certain cycles of time. But the sky disk also tracked Mercury, and it also tracked Mars, and it had a lot to do with the human gestational cycle as well. And we see that with the new moon energy being sort of the opposite of the full moon. It's like the full moon is like completely pregnant, and then on the new moon it's like the earth is lying fallow to repair nutrients. And especially with this hair, it's almost like I want to say Venus is on her period. And that's not to say in like a negative way, but there's like a clearing of the blockage, a clearing of the lining, right? The lining of the womb is shedding to clean it out so that you don't get uterine cancer, because it's all chunky in there. So that's somewhat the energy of the new moon, but it's also this, like the darker aspect of the moon, the secrets, the secretions, the nightmares. So I think I better start before, I was going to say before it gets too late, which is a song lyric, but I can't remember what it is right now. So now what's interesting is that this cello charm came out in between Monday and Tuesday. There's like a distinct break. And when I laid these out, I just sort of picked into the box, went like this, and just kind of closed my eyes and just sort of sprinkled them on top of the cards. Because there is some readings I don't want them everywhere all over the table. And I was like, okay, that's not quite enough. So I just grabbed another little bit and went and flicked them on the table. And this is where this one landed. So this is, it's like Monday is sort of like a time marker, and then it's like time to face the music before we hit this Martian energy on Tuesday, right? Tuesday is ruled by Mars. It's called Mardi in French. Monday, also the same in French. So let's just say 10 is like a number of completion. Now this isn't going direct until, when's it going direct? On the 13th. So what's interesting is we have the number of death. We have Venus energy, which goes back to Halloween, right? Because I keep seeing these sort of pinpoint cycles where it's like, okay, here's a preview of this energy, but you're really going to get it then. So we see, and I mentioned that on Halloween when I was doing my reading. So Mars is going direct on the day with the 13th. We have a death cycle, we have Venus energy, and we see that there's something completing here, but we take 3 days, Venus energy 3, to sort of nurture the masculine energy through the portal, right? It's like, okay, now you better put on your gear because you're going to be deployed. You're going into the underworld. Because there is a post-shadow for this retrograde, and it should last a little bit, but I really see this week as I had known for a couple days that I should be doing a weekly overview soon. Alright, so let's look at, I wish that wasn't so dark. I'm going to have to hold them all in the sunbeam. But maybe that's why this is happening the way it is. Alright, so we've got Monday the 9th. So 9, interestingly enough, is the Hermit, which is Virgo energy, which I've already mentioned. And I see the cow here. This also gives me that sort of Venus Virgo type energy. Right, Venus is ruling Taurus, the bull. We have a cow here. We have that nurturing, right, with the milk. And also the idea of a milkmaid. Right, it's like we're trying to produce something. So we have a squirrel here. This is like a little bit more of like a harvest energy. I'm collecting, right? I'm collecting resources and nutrients. And then I have a chalet here. So the way that I see this is like I'm storing things for the winter, right? I'm gonna go skiing, it's winter, it's snowy. I need to have my milk and my nuts. And then I have this rooster here, which came inverted. The way that I'm getting this right now is sundown. Right? I'm preparing to enter the darkness. I'm storing I stored up energy during the day because it's going to be darker now, winter, right? Shorter days. Right? I'm entering this night energy. I'm not going to be crowing for the sun. Right? Because we're on Monday, we're on the moon. And the hermit is going within. It's entering the cave. Alright, so I have a double here with this mystical shaman. So I have the smoky mirror, not surprised to see this, 47, breaking down to 11. And then I have the blade, which is 6. So 11 and 6 together is 17. That's star energy that has to do with healing. It's like rebuilding after the tower. So the blade is about... It's somewhat about boundaries, but it's also about going out to get what you need, right? You can cut with it in order to create something, right? You can cut the food off the tree. You can cut open your bottle of milk. But you could also stab with it, right? You could kill that cow, and then you wouldn't have any milk. You can murder somebody with the blade, right? I mean, it's essentially a double-edged sword. Now, what's interesting is that there's... It might not show up that well on the camera, but there's a series... Oh, that's good. Nope. Where's that? Oh, this is weird. There's a series of moon phases on the card here. Kind of frustrated with how dark this is, but it's for a reason. So we have the smoky mirror here. Is that gonna help if I turn that on? Not really. Right, the smoky mirror is somewhat about facing the darkness, but it also has to do with sort of allowing things to be cloudy and not knowing the outcome. In some essence, about going within to get the information. I am going to skim the book, though, just to see if there's anything really critical that I've missed. I got a double on these as well. So we have the lovers. I was talking about that Gemini energy already. Where's the... Come on. There. Okay, so there we go. The lovers. That is really frustrating. I'll hold it back here, maybe. Okay. So, Gemini energy with the number 6. Right? These cards are extremely matchy-matchy. We've got the same gold and yellow in the middle with green on the outside. And it's really hard not to take on this idea of very sexual, right? I mean, what is the blade? It's like piercing the womb of the feminine. So I would suggest that for Monday, the masculine energy might be rather horny. So we have the King of Pentacles here. We have a similar yellow and green energy. This is inverted. This is a number 5. Because 14 combined is 5. He could also be a 1, so we could have 7. But we're not going anywhere because he's off balance. This is giving me an indication of not using resources wisely. He's chosen to stab instead of carve. I'm just saying he because it's a masculine energy on here. And everybody has a little of both. Okay? So we're in a state of where'd all my stuff go? Like, where you at? Maybe I've taken all of your energy. Right. Let's see if I pull this shade down, if it's gonna let me have light. Is that gonna work? I don't know how to get more light in here. This is weird. See if I can move the camera. Okay, that's slightly better. Check my focus. It's like struggle bus over here with the lighting. I need to get... Okay, so let's try this out. Just hit the camera. Like, okay. There's lovers and the blade. And the schmucky mirrors. And this King of Pentacles, right? It's like he's... Okay, so 11 and 5 is 16. That's a tower moment. But I also see 6 and 5, 11. Plus this 6 would bring 17. So there's this idea that there's this oscillation between the tower and the star, right? There's hope for healing. There's hope for your relationship. But you think that your resources are gone and you're sort of stabbing in the dark to try to get something. Because you're not, you need to sit in the energy and let yourself not be in control of something for a minute. Like, the universe is going to help you collect this information or get you the money that you need or get you the food that you need. So we have the Sage of Crystals. This is the Queen of Pentacles in this deck. She's holding a crystal skull here. Right? Alas, poor York. I knew him, Horatio. The fellow of infinite jest. And that sounds very mercurial to me. But let's just check this out. King of Pentacles. Mars in Taurus. Or Aries in... Wait. Aries... Oh my god. Why can I... The King of Pentacles is Aries and Taurus energy. Okay? So Aquarius retrograding in Taurus, Mars retrograding in Aries. And we see that the star is also Aquarius energy. So in order that you have a new way of communicating with the universe, you need to first go through this portal of confusion and darkness. The Queen of Pentacles here, Sagittarius and Capricorn energy. So I talked a little bit about Sagittarius over here with the Sun and the Moon, which is the masculine and the feminine energy. But also, we have, right now, 3 planets in Capricorn, right? Saturn, Sagittarius, and Pluto. And I've mentioned Pluto already, right? Scorpionic energy, Pluto. This feminine energy is a 1 or a 13, right? She's accepting this fogginess of this interior transformation. She understands the smoke, and she's trying to connect with this crystal ball to get these cosmic downloads. My light is getting effed up again. These cosmic downloads, right? We're entering into the darkness as the moon wanes. Thank God. Okay, so let me just skim the okay, I was gonna say cosmic mirror. Apparently that's what I meant to say. Smoky mirror. Let me just skim the blade too, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Sharpness of mind, body, and spirit. Pointing upwards, it summons the power of heaven. Right? She's trying to get those downloads. she's trying to think with her upper chakras, and the masculine energy is thinking with his blade. True north. To the North Pole. Can be a healing tool or a weapon. You are invited to draw your blade and use it. Heaven and earth are aligned to support you in claiming your power. Take decisive action. Overcome your fear of hurting others. Unsheath the blade and use it wisely. There's no way that you're going to get out of sexual innuendo with all this scorpionic energy. It's just not possible. It's really hard not to laugh reading that. The smoky mirror represents the aspects of what's implied, yet cannot be immediately known in the world. Things come together and fall apart without obvious causality. The shadow of the human psyche, which I've been talking about. State of denial. Okay. You're invited to see beyond your own self. Limitations. Okay. So no matter where you are in your journey, know that some things are meant to be a mystery, or which you're meant to understand only through experience. Oh, are you kidding me? So when I was clearing off my table and setting up this reading, I was listening to... I actually pulled out my record player because I only have the Jimi Hendrix Experience... Are You Experienced album on vinyl, and that's what I was listening to, and here it says, once again for the people in the back, some things are meant to be a mystery which you're meant to understand only through experience. Are you experienced? Wow, okay, cool. So, I want to pass the facing the music. Alright, what is the music? I don't know what the music is. Well, you gotta sit there and try to suss out the music. Try to experience it as you go. It's like, what is this song? I don't know, just listen to it. Okay. Where am I? 5 minutes. Okay. So here we are on Tuesday, which is Marty, as I've mentioned. The 10th. And when I said that, I was thinking tenths, right? Mars is been grinding away in retrograde, masculine energy, been forced to deal with feelings and their darkness, which a little bit anger flailing, wanting the feminine energy to do the emotional work because they're like, ew, feelings, I'm not touching that. So this is also the last day for Mercury in Libra. Okay. So this sort of last training wheel for Martian energy, right? You're not getting, you're not having your inner child cradled by Venus energy anymore. You're getting kicked into sort of emotional puberty, right? You gotta grow up a little and sort of get into it on your own. I'm just saying you in the general sense of you. I'm not saying masculine energy is all the men. F you. No, it's not that way. Now, what's interesting is also on the 10th, the moon has entered Virgo. Here on Monday, the moon is in Leo, the day of the sun. So we have the sun and the moon together, the lovers, the masculine and the feminine, which I failed to notice but was also accurate. Right. Anyone else changing on that day? No, I think that's it for everybody moving around. Venus also a Libra here, but she's staying in her station for a little bit. So we have the Rhino. Alright, I'm going to take it that that piano flipped around on its own. Now when I see this, it could mean other things, but I'm still getting this imagery of Ace Ventura in Ace Ventura 2 when he's in the fake rhino and he's like, it's kind of hot in these rhinos. And eventually he like crawls out and it looks like the rhino's giving birth to him and he freaks out the children on the safari ride. But it's also this aspect of masculine energy sort of quick to anger, ready to turn on a dime, want to just stab you with that blade, instead of sitting inside themselves and feeling the heat of their own emotional content. And then with this idea of like purging the womb, it's like you gotta come out of there at some point. Right, getting this idea of sort of transformative of going through puberty being similar to being birthed out of the backside of a silicone rhino. So I have the front of the credit card here. Let's try to get it in the light better. The front of the credit card. Again, I'm getting this energy of your body's writing checks that your ego can't. No, your ego's writing checks that your body can't cash. There we go. Right? And it's like I'm just gonna frivolously spend, and I'm not gonna worry about the bill later on, and oh, whatever, like, I didn't realize I was charging that to my karma account. So again, with this idea of needing to face the music, we see immediately there's this idea of karma and the piano here. So what I'm getting with this, flipping over, is it's reminding me of the epic rap battles of history. I think the one I'm thinking of is Skrillex versus Mozart. Or he says something to fortissimo, which means very, very soft to very, very loud. So not only is the heat getting turned up, but the volume is getting turned up of this needing to face energetic debts. So the medicine wheel inverted. I don't know why I said that like a question. The medicine wheel? I'm weak. I can't say things. So we have 3 and 5. We have the energy of the Empress and the energy of the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is ruled by Taurus. But the Hierophant is actually the Empress and the High Priestess combined. Or the Emperor and the Magician combined. With it inverted, it's like I'm not in control of my situation, but I'm trying to pull a fast one so that I don't have to... Like, I'm trying to pull a fast one, like an illusion, to make it look like I'm in charge of the situation. This is very much reflected in the political situation in the United States. I'm just, you know, the masculine energy with the Mars retrograde really ramping up in this last week of the retrograde is very much like worm dangling on a hook. Straining on a choke collar out of rage instead of backing out of it until it loosens up, kind of an energy. And this is just this incredible darkness that is just not letting me show anything but part of a card at a time here. Now, I see the wheel inverted, and normally in the tarot, the wheel is a 10 with Sagittarius energy. But here we have it breaking down to an 8, which is strength and or justice. Right? An injustice out of weakness, out of avoiding balance, out of avoiding the true essence of masculine energy, which would be the sun. I am going to read the medicine wheel inverted, though. This is the sort of like all like all the chakras, the Kundalini energy, were like balanced in the different animal kingdoms kind of energy. Again, this idea of not really facing the music, but we'll get a little bit more on that after. So the challenge position, we have the world. And I see very much this lion standing out down here. And it looks kind of, I mean, it's kind of similar. Right, the wheel and the world are related. I see a bunch of animals on here. I got an eagle. I got a cat. I got a snake. I got a hummingbird. But over here, I've got these, 4 corners of the zodiacal wheel. I've got the dude over here, which is Aquarius. I've got Leo. I've got Taurus. And then the eagle up here, which is what Scorpio is. So we are seeing scorpionic energy on both of these cards. This is in the challenge position, right? My world is turning. What's going on? We see this feminine figure in the middle, and she's got 2 magic wands, right? You can't fake the magic. It's like, okay, well, I've got my own magic, and I'm holding the space for you with this other one. You need to come through the portal. Like, I'm not gonna do it for you. You can have your magic wand when you've earned it. Kind of. And it's not to be mean. It's for the masculine energies to heal. And the way that this is like a wreath here, it looks like Christmas. So what happens at Christmas is we have the winter solstice, shortest day of the year, and then like 3 days later, Christmas, is when the sun appears to like move up out of the horizon again or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it does, but it's sort of like pops back up over the equator or something like that. So there's this idea that the sun, the masculine energy, is being restored on December 25th. So you have this idea of 2 and 5, the High Priestess, and the Hierophant, which is the matching numbers to the Empress and the Hierophant, the 35 on this card. And the world is also Saturnian energy, breaking down to 3, which is the Empress again. There's like, you have to do this work. You're being like put in this grindstone. Now, the fact that Saturn is ruled by Capricorn, sitting in Capricorn, Sagittarius energy, which is what the wheel normally is when it's a 10 in the tarot, in Capricorn. And Pluto, Scorpionic energy, Sun Scorpio. Also in Capricorn. So there's this very heavy pull towards going through this, doing the work to mature, right? Saturn is Father Time. He's the old guy. He's got a lot of debts to pay for devouring his children, right? What does that mean? Like, wasting your resources, letting your fruit rot on the vine, sort of spiteful, trying to outsmart the destiny by, you know, peeking at the cheat codes and not finishing the story. So we have the 5 of Orbs. Now, I'm not surprised to see this because we already had a 5 inverted with this king over here. But we want to see this in the invert position. Just sort of... Okay, there it is. Sort of green and scaly jester. They look like apples, but they look also like, kind of like Christmas ornaments, the glass ones, because these ones have fallen on the rocks and they're broken. This card reminds me a lot of when I get a vision of the Queen of Cups. I see her out on this like rocky precipice with the waves like roiling around her, and she's secure and grounded in her emotions, and she just stands on this rock outcropping and lets this sort of typhoon crash over her. But here we're in the 5 of Orbs, which is Swords energy, which is 5 blades, if you're following along at home. And we're inverted. So the 5 of Swords energy is the mind games. It's the last man standing in a battle, right? It's like, I'm gonna attack you until, you know, until you don't come at me anymore, right? It's like, I'm gonna get the last word in edgewise. You know, I'm gonna stab you first and stab you last to make sure that, you know, I take more of your energy. I mean, it's also a little bit of like, I can't figure it out, right? My head is full of fuck. 5 of Swords, Venus in Aquarius. So we have Aquarius retrograde here. We have Venus being like, you're on your own, buddy. And we see this pivot 5 into this, I need to clear my head. I gotta get my head straightened out. I need to sit for a minute and think, which is indicating this preparation to go into hermit mode. So if you've got a masculine that you're involved with romantically, or you're working on your own masculine energy, you might sort of not be talking to people for a couple days. But let's look at the medicine wheel real quick, because I want to see what's going on with it inverted. So 35. 35. You must not postpone your healing journey any longer. It can be difficult to start, but you must find the inner strength to step into the medicine wheel, or you may lose your opportunity. There are many ways and many paths. Choose the one you resonate most with. Once you have found it, the only mistake you can make is not to follow. Go boldly. So there we have it. You gotta do that work. Gotta face that music. Because it's the heat and the sound is only going to be turned up. I'm gonna water. I'm nauseous. So, if I can get the light to cooperate long enough, we're gonna look at where we at, man? I'll lose my lens cap over here. I'm like putting the tripod leg on the cards. Okay. So we're on Wednesday. We're on Mercury, the day of Mercury, in which Mercury moves into Scorpio. So we have the number 11. So that could be universal timing. It can be the duality union, the lovers union, the twin flame union, whatever you want it to be there. But in the basic sense, universal timing. The coming together of the opposites. The union would put it into a triad, but that's all right. So, I mean, sometimes the Venus energy could be the energy of that triad, but it doesn't really have to be. And I don't want to get confused. So anyway, we have the two opposites coming together, the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine, the hot and the cold, the wet and the dry, the fire and the water, and so on. The sun and the moon. Alright, so what else is on the 11th? Mercury, on the day of Mercury, moving into Scorpio. I was going to say to play with his junk. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Here. Okay. Oh. Ooh, I see what's going on here. There. This is highlighting the sacral chakra, right? It's maturation. It's... And there's also balance with the 11. It could be strength and balance. Some decks are 11 for justice, some decks are strength for justice. So Virgo, we have Gemini. The union here. Mercurial energy. Forgot where I was going with this, whatever. Okay. 11th, where is everybody? The moon is in Virgo. We have Virgo over here. North node, Gemini. That's it. I feel like there's something else I'm supposed to say, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, so nothing else is moving until the 13th. So this is sort of like a pause in action, right? We're in the middle of the seesaw. Here on the 10th, it starts to swing. And here we're like, ooh, hang on, I think I'm floating in midair. So, when I said on the 10th that Mars is like, ooh, it's kind of hot in these rhinos, I see this dragon energy, and it's coming in inverted, right? We're trying to turn down the fire a little bit. Right? I need to cool off a little bit. It needs to stop being ready with this blade to attack. So the dragon has fire behind it, but he's also got the teeth and these spikes coming off the back of his head, right? He's got blades all over. But we're going to cool that down for a second. My little paper charms are getting worn out already. But then we have the swan. For me, this represents the emotional content on a higher vibration. I'm leveling up my emotions by turning down my heat. And in that way, there is the balance and the maturity. So we have Thunder 56, which is 11, inverted. This is inverted. It's like, I don't want to hear those cosmic downloads. But it's coming in Thunder, which is, again, very loud. Very, very loud. Look at all these buffaloes. And then we have Mars and Venus here on the card. And the staff. Okay, so here we have the... To me, this looks like a giraffe. It's really just like a twisty staff with a deer head on it, but I call this card Giraffic Park. This is a lot like the blade, but it has... The blade carries more air energy, and this carries more fire energy. And I was going to say Sagittarius, and I don't remember why. So I see 5 here, and I see 1 here, which combines to 6. But I see this as sort of hopping between 5 and 6, right? We're halfway, we're at the halfway point. And then I have 11 here, 5 and 6. So I want to skim these before I get the other cards. So let's look at Thunder inverted 56. 56. You know what's interesting is that when I was finishing up this pile, I was thinking, I can't drive. Oh, I was looking for the medicine wheel card in here, and I was thinking it's 35, right? And I was thinking, I can't drive 35, and then I was like, I can't drive 53, and then I get here to 56, and I'm like, okay, I can't drive 55, and I can't get to 56 either, but I can go 51. Anyway, if that made sense to anybody, enjoy the little joke. If not, then just excuse the ramblings of a mad woman. Okay. Okay. Shitty Schwo. 55. Okay. Okay, here we go. So it's gonna get some people right in their ego. Okay. I'm just trying to get enough light on this for it to show up on the frickin' camera. Just to go. Okay. Alright, that's about as good as she's gonna get. Do you feel like unnecessary drama is waylaying your life? Could you be exhausted from listening to others tell you their never-ending victim story? Or could you be telling yourself a version of the same? It's time for an about-face. You're being warned that to continue on this path will cause you to regret your choices, even if they appear benign or familiar. It's time to say no to drama, both yours and others. Focus on solutions rather than problems. You're worthy of a drama-free life. Alright? A little less conversation. A little more action, please. All this aggravation ain't satisfaction in me. A little less fight, a little more spunk. Wow, alright. Alright, so we have Giraffic Park here. You know how to flow easily between polarities, how to weigh all the possibilities and instinctively select the right path. Trust your inner wisdom and take the first step on a journey that your heart has already embarked on. Use the power of the staff to unite what appears to be divided to find that delicate balance between will and surrender. So, you're right on that seesaw between the one and the other, sitting in the middle with it balanced. So we have the Three of Wands inverted. This is, I can't see the future, but we already knew that with the smoky mirror. Smoky mirror. All right. You're not meant to know everything right now. And of course, this is the sun in Aries. So we have the masculine energy of the sun throwing down with Mars still retrograding in Aries. And I'm hearing, don't let the sun go down on me, right? Mars doesn't want to... A little bit... I'm hearing reticent. I think that's the right word. A little bit reticent to give up control of the future. What, like, I need to know what's happening next week. Like, right now, let me know. I can't leave it up to the universe because I'm in charge of the thing and I decide what happens. It's like, don't worry about these other staffs. Just worry about the one that you're working on right now. Right? Keep your hand on your own staff. Debating whether or not to actually say it. Keep your hands to yourself. Oh, this is a song lyric. Can't remember what it is though. I was gonna say sun inverted is moon energy as well. Right? Allowing the night to have its course. Right? You can't see the stars with the light pollution. You gotta let it be dark for a minute. Right? Thunder and lightning. Very, very frightening. And then we have the Seeker of Chalices. So we had the Seeker of Crystals over here, the Queen of Pentacles. But now we have the Queen of Cups inverted. So we have a 13 here, which would be a death cycle, but it's inverted. So we have this inner transformation of the emotional. Of the emotionals. The emotional waters. And that's what the Swan is doing here, right? So we have a 1, which would be, go back into the idea of 11, or a 13. 13 breaks down to 4, which is the number of the Emperor, but we have it inverted here, which makes sense because Mars is still retrograde. Alright, so Queen of Cups, what's she doing? Gemini and Cancerian energy. Cancerian energy, the moon, which makes sense because I had a sun card inverted over here. Now, when I said that this 5 of orbs from Tuesday reminds me of the Queen of Cups in my vision that I had, which I'm eventually going to turn into a meditation. I just need to figure out the audio software. All right, so here's this Queen of Cups. She's on a similar terrain. I know you can't really see it that well, but she's in a similar terrain. It's just blue here instead of gray. And instead of standing on this precipice, she let herself get washed off the rock, and now she's leaping up out of the water like Ariel. Right? The whole new world. Or I want to be part of that world. There we go. And just like this 5 of orbs is inverted, I'm letting go of the mind games. This is inverted too. I'm going deep within my feelings, right? I'm not experiencing control over my feelings because I'm having this internal transformation. All right. So that is Mercury heading from Libra into Scorpio. Which makes sense, because if I have a water card that's inverted with scorpionic energy, it's, for me, it ends up being like the 6 of swords inverted. I need to go deeper, which is what's happening here as well. Right? It's like, take this youthful playtime energy and allow it to enter into the deepest, darkest depths of your emotional lockdown so that you can mature, but you also have this sun energy of essentially the sun in Scorpio, 6 of Cups. I'm remembering what it's like to feel not jaded, basically. You're so jaded, and I'm the one that jaded you. Alright, just gonna... I guess that's in focus. Let me check. Oh, I need it over here. Between leaning way over my desk and the light, I'm getting so nauseous with this reading. I might have to take a Dramamine. Ugh. These are such a pain in the ass because you gotta cut them open. Okay. Take some water too. I'm really thirsty. Alright, so we got... Where am I at? Thursday. Jeudi. Jupiter. Put this in the light a little bit. Into the light. Make sure it's focused over here. It's not. Okay. What is this? This is a fish. Oh, it's a mouse. I'm a mouse. A mouse. I'm a mouse. Okay. Okay, that was inverted. So this is reminding me of the Lenormand mouse, where it's been eating away at things very slowly. So this distorted masculine energy has been eating away at growth of energy for a long time, and we're flipping the script on that. No more nibbling all the corners of my books and shitting in my laundry. Colonel Mouse Turd. Okay. So this can be Capricorn or it can be Venus, like the Devil or the Empress. It's coming in inverted. I think this actually goes with the King of Pentacles inverted from Monday. So we're on the 12th, which is the energy, actually, of the Hanged Man, which is Neptune energy. Neptune is retrograde. Which night is Sagittarius? The Knight of Wands, okay. So I'm getting Knight of Wands inverted energy as well. I'm going to hold the thought on this guy for a little bit, because this could be... Oh, okay, the world is turning. That's just a reiteration of this card. That the world is turning. So if it's crystal ball, this is essentially the same energy as we had on Monday with the Sage of Crystals, with her crystal head that she's gazing into. Just talking to that ancestor that's locked deep within the hologram that's in there. Under the mittens. Mittens. It's like, when you look deep into yourself, is the truth too hot to handle? And I know those aren't stove gloves, but that's what I'm getting with the mittens. I don't want to be left out in the cold, but is the truth too hot to handle? I don't know. I'm trying to get these downloads. I'm trying to figure it out. So, before I pick those cards up, I just got this concept with Jupiter energy here. Jupiter is currently in Capricorn. Or I'm going to say Jupiter is in Saturn. Zeus is in Saturn. Right? What did Saturn do? Saturn ate all his children. But instead of actually eating Zeus, his wife, Saturn's wife, had... Yeah, it was Kronos and Rhea. I don't know why that was weird for a second. She gave him a rock swaddled in baby swaddling, and he ate that instead. So what I'm thinking of Jupiter in Saturn, it's like, oh man, this is terrible. I just got fat bastard. I ate a baby. Why is this reading so stupid? It's like you've been punked. You swallowed a rock, and you're going to have to deal with what's happening now instead of, the fast one, the illusion you tried to pull on the universe. If you had gone with the flow, you would have avoided this checkpoint in time where you sort of, your own ego has, predictively programmed karmic outcome for you. There we go. Notice that 12 is the opposite of 21, the world, and we see that this world, Capricorn, inverted. Alright, what do we got here? So we have the moon inverted. This is 37 on here, which breaks down to 10, which is that wheel number, right? The wheel's turning. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Oh, that's so synchronicious. So we have 3 and 7, that's Empress energy, and the wheel in the Chariot energy. So we have more, the Chariot ruled by the moon. You kind of see that there. So we have moon phases here, and we started out with moon phases on the blade as well. You can see a couple of them across the middle of the dark spot there. So we're at 10. 12 breaks down to 3, so we have the 3 there. What else is on here? The curse inverted, 14. Now what's interesting that this comes out on a card that on a number 14 that would normally be balanced, but I see it breaking down to 5, which is that shift or pivot. We have this hand over the mouth. It reminds me a lot of they have for like murdered and there they hand over the mouth there. Murdered and kidnapped indigenous women, when they'll in the like the protest and awareness, they'll have a hand painted over their mouth to represent the decimation of the goddess energy, basically. So we have this curse card here. I'm trying to get it so it's in the light. Let me move this. There we go. Now I can see it a little better. Well, I'm just going to pause this because I have to pee, and I'm going to make another segment because I've only got 2 minutes left, then I'll get into that. Oh, why is that so crooked? What the frig? Okay. So we have the moon here, and then the Kois. Koises. What else are there? Not 12. Okay. 12, 12, 12. Okay, so the moon moves into Libra on the 12th. And that's the only major shift there. So Libra does have balance in it, but oh, was the moon inverted? Yeah, it was inverted. Both of these are inverted. Okay. Alright. So let's go to the moon first. This card calls you to go on a journey of renewal, just like the moon does every month, so you can get unstuck, whether from a specific situation or life in general. For this, you need to make time to be with yourself without the distractions of modern society, and have the courage to look at the unwanted or unembraced parts of your being until you arrive at a place of resolution. Shamanic lore explains that the finest treasures of humanity are hidden where people are most afraid to go. So I was talking about the new moon, and here we have a preview of that as the moon enters Libra. So in order to have balance, you have to go deeper. And I just mentioned going deeper as well. So let's look at the curse inverted. Be aware of your actions. Act with impeccable intention so as not to create a debt or karma that sooner or later someone has to pay. What you do to others, you also do to yourself and the people you love the most. Now you have an opportunity to clean it up. Okay? So there's this continuing idea that your future is obscure for a reason because you have to deal with the past still. You're hangman hanging upside down on that tree. Neptune retrograde energy, which is going to be retrograde until the 28th. An overhaul of the subconscious, right? Everything that you've pushed down and ignored. Everything that's nibbling at your bum. This revelation that you've been afraid to touch with your bare hands. So we have the 10 of Wands, right? And I just heard, I want you, she's so heavy. She's so heavy! Now normally that's my 2 of Wands card, I believe. Which would be Mars and Aries. But this is coming in a 10, which is Saturn in Sagittarius. So essentially, that Jupiter and Capricorn energy that I was talking about. But we have it here, 10, a lower vibration of the wheel, which is Sagittarius energy, which is Jupiter. And I said, when I was saying from Wednesday, need to not hold on to these two wands over here. Just, you know, keep your hand on your own stick. It's like, well, I only feel better when I'm holding all the sticks. And it's like, you're not trying to set up this illusion anymore. Like, drop all that crap. It's, you know, it's like, it's not making your having 10 sticks does not make your blade look bigger. And I know that's kind of a rude way to say it, you know, because it's 70 degrees out here today. We got all these motorcycles going by. It's not really helpful to masculine energies to talk about, like, oh, you're compensating for a small dick. And it's more about energy, though. It's like the idea of compensating for a feeling of lack. I feel small. And people equate it to that, you know, the physical joke. And it's not really funny. You know, everybody's body is what they've got. But the energy is, I feel small, so I want to have more stuff. I feel fancier if I have 10 wands. But you only need one good one, right? I only need my own core, my own fire energy. I don't need all of this stuff weighing me down. I want to release this curse of, you know, my own karma eating away at me. And then the moon energy there is, again, with it inverted, it's I'm gaining illumination by going deep into the darkest depths of myself that I'm afraid of. I want to have another card here still. Seeker of Flames. Are you kidding me? So now I have the Queen of Fire. Now what's interesting with, I hope that wasn't the exact same motorcycles turning around and going back the other way. What's interesting is the queens in the Syrian starseed are called seekers. Or is that, no, that's not right. The seeker is the page. I got overexcited. The seeker is the page, the adept is the knight. So I was saying that this is the Hanged Man is like a knight inverted for me. But here we have a 111. We have the Seeker of Flames. I don't know why I thought that was the Queen. Probably because I saw Sekhmet and I got excited. So we have the Seeker. Right, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to start over with one flame. God damn it. I'm trying to start over with one flame energy, right? I'm trying to start over and figure out which one of these wands is mine. I go from the 10 to the 11. All right, so we do have a progression, right? We want 10, 11, 12. We want to hit the Hangman energy. So, yes, okay. Trying to ground my energy and nurture my core self. Ugh, I always get flustered when I mess up. Okay. But then I was like, oh, it's for a reason. Don't get upset. You said it. Okay. Alright, so then I have Venus. Vendredi. Day of Venus. So Venus also rules 2 signs, so like every Wednesday and Friday you get sort of like a double down. There's always this like trying to balance between 2 things. Hump day. And then the end of the week. So we have Taurus energy, we have Libra energy. So the moon entered Libra on the 12th. The moon is still in Libra on the 13th. 13th is that death cycle, which does bring in scorpionic energy on top of what's already there. Okay. And it's just the nature of having earth and air together is this idea of I don't want to get carried away, but I don't want to put my head in the sand. I want to be grounded and still able to have balance where I look to my higher self, right? I don't want to be in the lower world. I don't want to be in the higher world right now. I want to be in the middle world. So I have the star here. This brings Aquarian energy, air energy again. This idea of there's hope. I've got hope. No, that's not going to stay there. Hope for the future. But I also have this. I cannot brain today. I have the dumb. The cat caught in the blinds. I'm going through a transformative cycle. I don't know where I am. You know, instructions unclear, dick caught in toaster. So let's see what these cards are. I'm going to do that one after. Let me do these. So we have a pair here. 5 of Pentacles. I was going to say surprised. I don't know. I'm not surprised to see this. I guess I'm not excited either. So 5 of Pentacles. Left out in the cold energy. What is that? Mercury and Taurus, of course. So we have inverted Taurus, right? Aquarius, the star, Uranus energy, retrograding in Taurus right now. And then, what was the other one? Mercury energy, right? So we've come off that mercurial energy again. Right, I'm no longer feeling put out. I'm starting to gain hope. But again, I have no idea what I'm doing. So this is what I call the popcorn card. Did I? Is that inverted? Well, whatever. It's up right now. So notice I have 5 and 7 here. That's 12. That's Hanged Man energy again. 7 of Cups. I really... there was that wreath from the... God damn it. The World card. Here's the dragon from the charm. Is that a snake? Yeah, that's a snake. I think this is supposed to be this way. So I'm reshaping my subconscious. I'm figuring out what is distraction and what is my true emotional content. Of course, Venus and Scorpio. And I thought I said that energy already, but Venus is not entering Scorpio until the 22nd. So we have a preview here. Some of that is because this is, and again, this is a preview because on the 14th, Mercury, the Moon, and the Sun are all going to be in Scorpio. So this is not only a preview of what's literally happening the next day, but also a preview of what's happening 9 days later. There's like a maturation cycle. Two of Orbs. So the Two of Swords, I'm trying to see from another's perspective. I was saying 9 days, that's Virgo energy, that's the Hermit. And I see this maiden here trying to figure something out. So this is partway between this energy and this energy. Like, I might not be ready to let that water sweep over me, but I'm going to stand out here on this rock and think about how I might deal with it. This is a junior energy of the High Priestess. I'm trying to tap into that spiritual world. The crystal ball. Oh, I'm so sleepy all of a sudden. Oh, the lower world. Inverted, right? I don't want to be in the lower world. I don't want to be in the upper world. I want to be where I need to be. Notice that this is coming in 31 inverted is essentially 13. I'm having this death cycle. I've had to go deeper. I've had to go deeper. So, why are we not wanting to be in the lower world? Let's take a look at this. I love that card. A lot of blues and purples in this area. 31. Are you one of those people who do not like to face the past? Now your past is calling to be acknowledged, to be heard, and to be embraced. The only way to become unstuck is to honor everything that has transpired in your life, reflect on the lessons learned, and move on. If you bear witness to your past and learn its lessons, it will stop haunting you. As you embrace its gifts, you will recover a missing part of your soul. So the 13th is the day that Mars goes direct. So we see this, the idea, this masculine energy is like, oh, I'm not put out anymore. I'm realizing this stuff that I was doing is a bunch of crap. Like, I'm starting to face it. I'm starting to see this from another perspective. Like, I thought my life was turning to crap for the last few months, but whoa, like, something's changing. Something's happening here. I feel kind of funny, like when we used to climb the rope in gym class. And then this is, you know, I'm no longer stuck in the dark. I can see the light, but I'm slightly confused. I'm hearing befuddled. Alright, where's my light? I guess I can move these out of the way. Then we'll go on to the 14th. Okay, so this is the first day that Mercury, the moon, and the sun are all in Scorpio, and then we have the day after Mars goes direct. Saturn energy and 14. That's that balance energy again. Breaking down to a 5. Pivot. Okay. Alright, as I was trying to pick these up, this one flipped over. These are the holly berries. So that goes back to that Christmas energy again. Right, the 25th, so we have a 5 number. We just saw a 2 over there with the 13th, that trying to be the High Priestess but not quite making it. Saturn energy, the masculine energy starting to rise up again. Now inverted, that stayed inverted, are these, the sousaphone, right? A couple of Tesla coils making music. We have a shift in the energy. Now this to me can also be related to Aquarius energy, and that is present. We're having an overhaul of communication, invention, the way that things are communicated. It's the the cosmic consciousness is shifting. The energy is changing. We have this stick a fork in me, I'm done. This is essentially 10 of Swords. Right? Masculine energy. You know, I've realized that I've actually been hurting a lot, and I have the power to, like, I'm completing the cycle of, you know, pain and the idea of being stabbed to death. well, it's like, where's that coming from? Maybe I'm generating that. Then I have the top hat here. This is like I'm activating my crown chakra. I'm leveling up, right? I'm becoming fancier. So now we have the rattle. So this is interesting. So we have the blade, the staff, and now we have the rattle. And I feel like those are all very much connected. It's not just the colors on the thing. So 43 here, which breaks down to 7, the chariot, which is moon energy. We have the moon in Scorpio starting on the 14th. But I also have 4, the Emperor, and 3, the Empress. So we're definitely going to read this. But I'm going to wait till I'm done with these other cards. So this one spun sideways when I went to pick up the other one, so I'm going to leave it in the challenge position. So you have the Queen of Rods. Okay, now, I thought this was the Queen here. So I jumped the gun a little bit, because now she's here. Look at all this yellow solar energy. She would be the Sage of Flames in the Syrian deck. Alright. So we have a 13 energy. We're not quite... masculine energy, not quite in control of their core and their creativity and their connection to the universe. But they're working on it. This is only the first day trying to balance it out. Like, give me a minute, I'm almost there. Like, I'm thinking about it, hold on, give me a second. So this is Pisces and Aries energy, right? She's not upright because Neptune is still retrograde. We've got another planet going direct until we're, you know, I'm getting like sexual healing kind of energy. Now we have Divine Justice inverted, so we have 11. Venus energy. I need to read the rattle because I don't know why those feminine energy cards are in resistance. So let's look at the rattle. I'm going to skim the whole thing this time. 43. I'm just still reading this page, hold on. Okay. The rattle comes to invite you to work with the tools of spirit, but be careful, they're very sharp and can hurt you and others if they're not used mindfully. Set your old tools aside and take up the drawing instruments of spirit. You're consciously stepping into partnership with the divine. This is the time for courageous deeds. Do not let your hesitation get in the way of your expression. Okay. So, I'm seeing the rattle, and I said it was like the blade and like the staff. But the rattle is making a noise. It's like a low vibration of thunder. So I have 11 inverted here. I had 11 inverted here. Like, I'm not connecting to that source vibration entirely. I'm at a lower vibration. It's not as thunderous. It's not as loud. But there's this idea of, you know, wielding a new spirituality sort of half-cocked. You can cut instead of heal. So it's sort of reiterating that blade energy and saying there isn't justice until you're in rhythm with the source energy, right? They have to be at the same frequency for this message to come across. And I think that there might be like 2 more weeks of, like another 13 days of wanting to make up for, or wanting to close out the karma, to get the justice, to get the balance. But it's sort of like coming in a little too hot, and then this feminine energy is like, whoa, hold on a goddamn second. So it's a little bit of possibly like a clumsy miscommunication in that smoky mirror energy for a couple more weeks. That's I feel like there might be something else there, but that's all I can see right now. Right, I'm trying to do the work a little too hard and a little too fast, and it might come off as abrasive. And the Queen of Wands is like not about to put up with any crap, so it might be a little bit of, I mean to make amends, but I'm coming in like on fire instead of smoking. Let's say that. Alright, so let's see what's going on the 15th, because that might help clear that up a little bit. Move these cards over. This battery's trying to die on me. So we have Sunday the 15th. So this is second day, last day, the moon and the sun and Mercury all in Scorpio. And I had mentioned that on the 16th, the moon was going to lead the sun by hopping into Sagittarius. And I do see an arrow here, which Sagittarius energy. But it's also one of my Ace of Wands energies. Alright, it's sort of like I'm starting to know where I'm going because I've homed in on my core masculine energy. Right, so the masculine is starting to see where he's going. 15 is that devil energy, so it's sort of like releasing the pressure of the Saturday, where we had the Saturn energy, but things were a little bit mismatched still. So in reverse, I have the F-bomb. Right, it's like things are starting to get unfucked. Another unicorn. Right, I'm getting, my crown is opening more. I'm starting to get more of these cosmic downloads. So when I'm more in line with spirit, then I'm not as clumsy in what I'm trying to do, right? It's like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna like, roar. It's like, okay, I'm starting to feel the synchronicities. I have a eureka moment where I know what it is I need to say to balance things with my feminine love interest or my own feminine energy. So in the challenge position, the beloved, number 5. Essentially what I was just saying, but it's in a challenge position. So we have another pivot here. Notice that the 15 might not always just be the devil. It could be the completion and the shift as well. So let's look at number 5 here real quick. Skim it. The recognition of spirit in another, moving towards spirit through the other. When the divine appears to us in the form of our child, our partner, our friend, and we experience being in love, as we grow, we start to recognize the beloved in everyone, not confusing their personality with their divine nature. Okay, because it's in the challenge position, though, there's this dichotomy of expanding your own being through the union itself, right? That when you learning to interact with someone else is sort of a blueprint for interacting with spirit, and then it's like, oh, okay, now I'm understanding how to work with someone else better. I'm working with the universe better. I'm helping to realize what my identity is, right? What is my, in some sense it's like, what is my ego, but not in the like, oh, my ego's out of control. It's like, what is my, like, I think it's the id, but it's like, what is my individuality that makes me a separate unit squeezed out of the universe? What is the I am? Says, but it also says, be careful with romantic love, the kind of love you fall in and out of. Own all the projections you've placed on the person you are dreaming of. They're only mirroring back your own deep longings rather than revealing their true selves. If you fail to notice this, be prepared to walk through the fire of strong emotions once again. Right, so the 14th, it's like a little bit too strong. 15th, oh, okay, I'm starting to understand how to calmly interact with another person, but not super there yet, but it's like I need to be aware of the problems while I'm unfucking the situation. There it is. Sun in Scorpio. 6 of Cups, but it's coming in inverted. It's like I'm not hanging on to my past. I realize where I was like over sensationalizing myself, and if I had given openly, I would have gotten here sooner. But there's this idea of 6 healing in letting go of, in some sense, past hurts, where it's like I wasn't giving. Now I know that I can be. This is sort of closing out that needing to go deeper essence. But notice that the energy is Sun in Scorpio inverted. So essentially moon energy in Scorpio. And this is the last day for that, for this 3-planet tryst. And then we have guidance. Number 5. So here we have the pivot. This is, look how similar this is to the smoky mirror. Right? With this Buddha or Bodhisattva or whichever one it is. And instead of this solar disc on his head, he's got this whole sphinx here. So not only do we have 5 Taurus, which links into Venus, but we have Sphinx, which is a lion, which essentially sun energy. And this idea of coming into union with yourself and or repairing relationship with the masculine and feminine counterparts through this crunch energy. It might be the end goal to repair the relationship with them, but the transformation is, I'm not going to be able to get that until I transform myself and gain this link up to the spiritual world. So 5 is the material ruler, right? The Empress or the Emperor. mixed with the spiritual guru, right? The high priestess and the magician. Once those combine, they both have the energy of the Hierophant here, which is guidance. So it's this background energy of grounding with with a prominent energy of spiritual and material balance. And we see that here. All right, so this is what's happening this week with those planets and the masculine and feminine energies. If you want to get a personal reading, you can hit me up there. The cat came back at camp@gmail.com. I have the complete list of readings and how much they cost in the description box of my infomercial video, which is linked below this one. And then I have all these contact points listed with that. Or, I mean, again, or you could just email me and I'll get you all that. So I have coloring books and a Dark Night of the Soul type poetry book there, the Amazon with the Kindle Direct Publishing, Lantern, which is the poetry book, also available in Kindle format. I'm kind of deleting my catalog, so everything that was in there, I'm slowly moving over to Etsy. I've had an Etsy shop, but I changed the URL so it matches, so that's Cat the Minion now. It didn't used to be. Well, I haven't used it in like 9 years, so probably nobody watching this knows that anyway. So I've got actual art items. I've got the 2 Sleipnir plushies. I've got a set of paintings, a set of watercolors that's bound into a book, and a bunch of loose drawings and the chapbook packs. And if you go on my Etsy, etsy.com/shop/cattheminion, and you get 3 or more items with the coupon code, the number 3, the word star, and then the number 17 all together, 3*17, all in caps, you will get 17% off. So 3 or more items, 17% off, 3*17. So that link is going to be in the description box of my infomercial video. And then I have merch and prints, Cafe Press, Deviant Art. I've got a couple things over. I'd make playing cards. I'm not really doing much with that. They're just sitting there. The website wasn't really working the last couple times I tried to check my stuff. They might have fixed it now. I don't know. And then I'm also Cat the Minion on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that's the Cat Came Back. And then Facebook also recently changed it to Cat the Minion. So my page is called Cat the Minion Energy Work on Facebook. And all right, so my Etsy shop is also called Cat the Minion Energy Work, and then the URL. So all of these links, they're in the description box of my infomercial video, or you can just email me there and I'll get you that. If you want to help keep this channel running, donate, energy exchange, you can hit that tip jar, paypal.me/cattheminion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.